Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wrapping up a Cinco de Mayo broadcast of the John C. Scott Talk Show. Now in our 28th year of continuous talk about Southern Arizona and streaming worldwide at KEVT.radiostream321.com. You can hear us anywhere on the globe, and people are actually responding from all over the world to finding us. It's kind of amazing. Terry Nordbrock is with us, is Dave Lesser, who are a part of Xerocraft, a nonprofit organization that does a great many things. Let's go to Dave Lesser first and get a profile of Xerocraft. We've heard a lot about it. We've been mentioning it on our radio station. So give us an idea of what we're talking about today.
So thank you for having us.
Well, you're more than welcome.
So Xerocraft is, as you mentioned, a nonprofit which essentially exists to provide a space and a wealth of resources and tools to people who would like to create or to innovate, to learn about just about anything that you could think of, from woodworking to welding to sewing and all sorts of things like that.
All right, who's eligible to do this?
So we are open to the public. Anyone in Tucson is welcome to come down for free on Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. And we have a host of volunteer staffers with a wide variety of experiences.
So I could learn carpentry there.
Absolutely.
I could learn to be a plumber. I could learn a lot of skills that I might need just for my house, let alone a profession, right?
Exactly. We have everyone from artists to professors at the U of A to engineers of all different shapes and sizes who are thrilled to just share what they know and learn what they don't know from other people.
Where are you located?
So we are located downtown. Our address is 101 West 6th Street. It is the old Steinfeld warehouse building.
Sure, been there.
Yep. So it is a
That's
phenomenal
a old building.
It is a phenomenal old building. Yeah. We have.
They kept trying to tear it down. They finally decided not to. So that's why you're there, right?
Yep. Yeah. And so we have 7,000 square feet of space dedicated to all sorts of crazy ideas and contraptions and tools that anyone can come down and learn and use.
All right, Terry, let's talk a little bit about the people that make this happen. We were just talking about all kinds of people that kind of teach other people their skills. How do you find these people? Where do they come from?
Well, they're coming out of the woodwork because it's...
And woodworking is part of it.
I love it.
Right? Good word there. Let me write that down. Woodworking.
Yeah, it's a project that has inspired a remarkable amount of generous donation of time and talents. And, for instance, I coach a competitive high school robotics team, have done so for 6 years, donating my time. And then the kids are immersed in this incredible creative space where there's engineers, entrepreneurs, artists. Everybody's busy making things. Sometimes they're working on their own, sometimes collaboratively. Might be a big float for the All Souls procession. It could be a lot of things, but there's just a real creative energy that seems to just excite people.
Do the people that come there come with an idea and then you help them develop on how that becomes a reality? Is that basically what you do?
That is sometimes what happens. And especially during these open hacks that David mentioned, where it's free and open to the public, there's a lot of people there and somebody's working on something and then somebody else will come over and say, oh, I know how to do this part of it. Oh, I can do the lighting for your sculpture. Oh, I know how to do the electronics. So it's interesting, the collaborative things that just sort of happen spontaneously. Other times people will have a very specific plan. I hear you have a laser cutter. I've always wanted to use it. I have a bunch of instructions, give me an intro class and then let me at it.
So it can be arts and crafts, or it can be just functional items, as we just talked about.
Exactly.
So it can one or the other. Give me a profile of Xerocraft and its history. Where did this all begin, David?
So Xerocraft is a part of the Makerspace or Hackerspace movement that's been pretty much taking the world by storm over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years. This is a group of these organizations that have sprung up organically in just about every major city all across the world, based on these notions of that creative people like to congregate. And it doesn't matter whether you're an electrical engineer or an artist or a school teacher or just somebody who just wants to come down and make a piece of furniture on their weekend. That no matter what you're doing, if you're being creative, there's something that you can learn and something that you can share from other people, no matter what background that is.
You're a nonprofit. You get money for. Do people pay to get the instruction? Is that how you raise money? How do you get the money to do what you do?
Badly is the one word answer. So we largely
They don't call you a nonprofit for nothing.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the one thing we do really well. Is not make a profit. So Xerocraft subsists largely on small donations from people who come to these open times and drop a couple of dollars in the donation bin, as well as membership dues from people who sign up for recurring payments and want to support us. These are $50 a month typically, and they come with extended hours and other sorts of perks, as well as just the good feeling in your heart for supporting a noble cause.
Terry, the people love to teach, and they get something from that. Whether it's not a lot of money, I'm not sure that they're going to be competing for a professor's salary at Xerocraft. But they get a feeling that they've done something good for the community with sharing their knowledge.
Yes,
and that's a good place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. And a lot of people do teach. Some of our teachers are extremely experienced. They've got decades of work doing it. And some have never taught a thing in their life, but they know how to do something. And it's been kind of interesting over the years, the people who end up getting jobs after spending a few years hanging out and teaching, and all of a sudden their resume looks a lot better than it did before. So we've become a sort of entrepreneur place, as well as the Makerspace.
Talk about this situation here with Xerocraft.
Oh, well, we have a new program coming up this summer. First time we've done this. Most of the Xerocraft users are adults. We do have a lot of power tools and things that if you use them wrong, they could kill you. So we do a lot of safety training and things like that in the wood shop and the metal shop. But this year we're offering a really wonderful opportunity for kids who are age 11 and up. It's the Engineering Learning Lab. And so we're offering this summer camp, and we're going to be teaching kids how to take machines apart and put them back together again. We're going to be teaching how to make kinetic machines like automata, toys that move, doing some catapults, trebuchets,
Wow.
things like that. We'll have a session on working with robots. We're going to be doing some glass fusion, working with electronics, Arduino project. We'll teach the kids how to do welding, how to use a laser cutter, 3D printer. So it's a wonderful opportunity for kids, in part taking over from where Physics Factory Camp that used to be in Tucson is. They've been moving on to St. Louis, but we're taking up where they were doing. And
well, this is a good age group of 11 plus. The other particular programs are any age, right? Pretty much.
Well, it depends. Children are allowed to be at Xerocraft
Well,
if
you
their
don't want a
adults are
2-year-old
present.
working on a laser cutter, it didn't necessarily. So, yeah, obviously.
It's happened.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it's happened. They make little Pokemons and things like that. Yeah.
I could always learn to take things apart. I never could put them back together. So maybe I could take advantage of
You
your
could come
ability
to
to get them back together.
We say 11 and up. There's no top limit.
No, it could be 111, right? For that matter. It's supposed to be a social experience, too. You get to meet a few people. There's a lot of people around town that go, I don't know what to do with myself. I watch television 10 hours a day, or, I'm trying to, meet people, or, they're always looking for something that would find people who have something in common, like learning something they didn't know, or being able to be skilled about something that they had no idea that they could learn a skill. And you offer that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Xerocraft is probably first and foremost a community, more than it is just a room full of hammers and chisels and things. I think that's really the thing that makes Xerocraft unique, is that anybody with a credit card can buy themselves a welder. That's not particularly difficult. What is truly unique is the fact that you can walk in the doors at Xerocraft and you have a very good chance at running into a professional welder who can help you learn what you need to learn, who can look at what you've done and say, hey, you did these things wrong and you can improve in this way. That's still something that's really unique. The internet has done some phenomenal things about democratizing information and access to that information. But it's still very much a sort of a one-way thing in a lot of ways. You can go on YouTube and you can watch a video from somebody who knows a lot, but to have that one-on-one interaction with those people is still something that's very hard to come by and very worth seizing.
Well, there's always a question you can't ask YouTube.
Exactly.
Like you can yell at it if you want to, but if the answer isn't there, I assume that if you talk with people here, you'll get the answer to the questions that you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's amazing finding all these instructors. Is that difficult? Do you have people more than willing to teach what they know?
I think it's more of a trouble just choosing one of the many people who want to teach the classes.
Really?
It's people love to share what they know, and people love to give back to an organization like this because again, the beauty of this sort of thing is that guilds and things like that have been around for centuries, right? Groups of, for instance, in the building that we were in, right, 20 years ago, there was the Alamo Woodworkers. This was a collective of woodworkers who came together and built a community. But something that's rather unique here is that it doesn't select down to a specific niche. And so that leads to these really interesting phenomena where you have incredibly skilled electrical engineers from Raytheon who know incredible wealths of information about their field, but they want to come and learn about how to sew something on the sewing machine. And they know nothing about that. And they relish that opportunity to learn something that they've never learned before, and they give back in the ways that they know. Nobody knows everything that goes on at Xerocraft. That's why we love being there, is that there's always something weird and new waiting for you around the corner.
Plus, that environment is great. That used to be an import place from furniture from Indonesia,
Yep.
and I used to do live broadcasts from there. And I love that the brick walls, and they had the furniture there, and the big loft up there, and there were hidden places that the Seinfeld warehouse only could provide. It's just a marvelous place, really. It's kind of mysterious at times, and but it's a wonderful place to be. You'd think
Absolutely.
you'd be in San Francisco or someplace, where they actually did preservations of buildings. I love the environment there. How many? There 7 days a week? You got an opportunity for people to learn all the time? What are the hours?
So we are open to the public, as I mentioned, on Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons.
Okay.
We are also open to the public on Tuesday evenings, but those days are Women Trans Femme Night. We stole the idea from Bicus unapologetically across the street. It's a night that's open like any other day, but is exclusive to women and trans people. Because a lot of these things have sort of a male-dominated nature to them, we wanted to have a kind of a more safe, welcoming space. And for people who sign up to be members, we are open about 4 to 5 hours every day. In addition to those open times to the public.
I've got 1 minute. How do people learn about you? Go online? Go
wait.
ahead.
Another thing we wanted to mention, you were talking about broadcasting out of the
Sure.
space, and we're super excited that the FCC gave us a permit to build a low-power FM radio station, KMKR Maker Radio. So we're looking forward to that coming to exist. We're in the final stages of raising money for the equipment to go on the air. If your listeners have any interest in supporting that cause, they could make a donation at xerocraft.org/KMKR. We also wanted to mention that your listeners are invited to take a 10% discount. If they send their kids to camp, they can have a 10% discount just by typing in all caps friends-10.
Wow. Okay.
So that's
if you're interested in learning about any of the stuff that we're doing, our website is just xerocraft.org. That's xerocraft.org.
Well, we're going to bring you back to talk more about Xerocraft, and we'll have another opportunity to explore all the things that are available. I thank you both for being able to come by and talk about your radio station, as well as the old Seinfeld warehouse, and all the things that are possible through Xerocraft. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Dave Lesser and Terry Nordbrock.
Thanks so much.
We thank you. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. This is KEVT, streaming worldwide at KEVT-radiostream321.com, and the John C. Scott Talk Show now in our 28th year of continuous political talk in southern Arizona, as well as profiling the many good things about Tucson, and Xerocraft is certainly one of those. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening.